From the KUDZUKIAN studios in Memphis, Tennessee, this is Artivism with your host, Linda Steele.
Hey, this is Linda Steele, your host of Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network. And this is the beginning of our second season. And so for season 2, we're going to take it up a few notches. We're going to speak to people on the national level. We're going to feature people outside of Memphis. And we're going to talk to individuals who are not only working at the intersection of social activism and arts and creativity, we're going to throw in entrepreneurship in there. And we're going to start today with our guests, Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, Jeff Billingsley, and they're all from the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development at Rutgers University. Stay tuned.
Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
Hey everyone, we're here in the studio today with Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley from the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development. Hi everyone.
Hi, so happy to be here.
Hello.
So our listeners are really anxious to learn more about Rutgers and the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development. But first, let's tell everybody who you are and a little bit about how you got to this point. So Lyneir, why don't you start off?
So I'm Lyneir Richardson. I'm the Executive Director of the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development. I have been at Rutgers for a little over 4 years. Before that, I headed economic development in the city of Newark, New Jersey, and I had a long career as a lawyer, an entrepreneur, and a corporate executive. All my work has been focused on urban communities and getting people to see value in people and places that other people always overlook and undervalue. And so that's my passion.
And you were there during Cory Booker's tenure, correct?
Right. I headed the Economic Development Corporation when Cory Booker was mayor, and when he became Senator Booker, I moved to Rutgers.
Okay. Kimberlee, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur in the city of Newark. I own, a woman-owned firm called FemWorks Marketing and Communications. And that business is about 12 years old. It's always been based in the city of Newark. And it's really part of that experience as an entrepreneur, kind of startup in the city, that gave me a unique perspective and helped me to realize that, I should be a small business advocate and not only seek success for my own business, but help other entrepreneurs in the city to thrive as well. And that's really what led me to Lyneir at Rutgers in the city, the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship.
And Jeff, how about you?
Hello, my name is Jeff Billingsley. I'm CEO of a multimedia company by the name of Cobblestone Multimedia, located in the city of Newark. We've been in business almost around 13 years. We produce everything from music, film, television content, music for film and television, and we run a series of programs that teach youth and adults about the careers behind the scenes in the music and film industry. I have a long history with Rutgers. I started probably around 1993. I used to work running programs for adjudicated youth that were transitioning back into the community. So I did that as a director from like 94, 95, all the way up into 2001. Started my company, and then I wound up becoming a contracted vendor with Rutgers, wound up never leaving the fold of interacting and working with Rutgers University. So as an entrepreneur, Kimberlee and I met along that journey and began to co-work with each other and collaborate. She would hire my company to provide services for her company, and we've been almost the length of time we've been in business working together. And then we just connected about this concept around working with Lyneir at Rutgers around the Newark Business Hub stuff.
Now, I've heard you've been in business, you've been working together for about at least 10 years?
Yeah, I'd say 10 years. FemWorks has been in business since 2004. And I'd say we've been working with Jeff since 2005 or something like that. So it's been a long journey.
That means Kimberlee paid and Jeff did good work.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about where you're from, because I want to make sure. Lyneir, where are you originally
So
from?
I grew up in Chicago and started my career in Chicago. And
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town in the house. And but I always tell people that I fell in love with the city of Newark. I fell in love in the city of Newark. I met my wife there. So I split my time between Newark and Chicago every week now.
Fantastic. Kimberlee, are you from New Jersey, Newark?
Yeah, I'm a New Jersey native, but I'm not from Newark, although I have adopted the city as my home. I'm from Perth Amboy, which is a small town in central Jersey, but Newark has always been a second home for me. It's been that respite to find culture, entertainment, and even when I went to college, I would choose Newark to buy my hair products and my clothes and what have you. So Newark has always been that special place in my heart.
And for me, I'm born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. Been there. I lived some different places, but I have always come back to the city of Newark. Currently live there and run my business there. For me to be able to not only just generate revenue in the city of Newark, but to be able to help other people see the opportunities that exist, as well as to help create content to show what the city currently is in a positive way, has been something that motivates me constantly. I feel good when I get up in the morning to do what I do.
You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network, and I'm your host, Linda Steele. And I'm speaking to Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley of the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey. Let's talk a little bit more about the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship.
I'm excited. This is our 10th year.
We're
celebrating 10 years. It's a research and practitioner-oriented center that really is focused on the connection between entrepreneurship and community revitalization. We've now assisted over 400 entrepreneurs, people who range from the local print shop and coffee shop to technology firms and public relations firms and content creators and inventors. So it's been a lot of fun. We have faculty members who do research that is published in academic journals or around the world, and we have won 2 awards for the effectiveness of those programs.
Tell us about
taking entrepreneurs who are fledgling with the goal of getting them above $1 million a year in revenue.
Wow.
Helping people create jobs. Helping folks stay in business. So we brag a lot about the impact results. Over 400 entrepreneurs. They've created over 600 jobs. They're generating over $137 million a year in annual revenue. And these are, black and brown individuals. 70% of the entrepreneurs we've supported are entrepreneurs of color. So over 60% are women. Over 95% are not Rutgers students. So what's specifically unique about our center is most universities have entrepreneurship programs, but they typically are inwardly focused, helping the students think about entrepreneurship and become entrepreneurs. We have the benefit of a chancellor at Rutgers Newark who's made publicly engaged scholarship a priority, and we have the dean who said being social, having our business school having social impact is a strategic priority. We've taken that and been able to roll that into our program to help entrepreneurs who are not affiliated with our university become better.
Thank you. You've been listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network. I'm your host, Linda Steele, and I've been having a fascinating conversation with Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley about the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey. So don't move. When we come back, we're going to have a fascinating conversation and really dig in deep about the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey, what they do, and one specific really special program that they are doing in Newark that you're going to want to listen to. So stay tuned.
Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
You're listening to Artivism. Artivism features conversations with artists, creatives, and citizens working at the intersection of art and social activism. And I'm Linda Steele, your host. I'm a grant maker, change maker, social venture capitalist, and I invest in individuals and projects that use the arts as a vehicle for social change.
Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
Welcome back to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network, and I'm your host, Linda Steele. I am having such a fascinating conversation with Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley from the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey. Lyneir, tell us more about CUEED. You've been talking about, this is your 10th anniversary, and that is amazing, and also about the fact that how unique you are in terms of you offer these services to people who aren't necessarily enrolled at Rutgers University. Tell us more about that.
Yes, our secret sauce is a mixture of faculty engagement with entrepreneurs, students getting an opportunity to experience entrepreneurs, but us really having a hands-on approach in helping entrepreneurs become more profitable and scaling and growing. The research is really conclusive that entrepreneurs help a community to revitalize. They provide jobs, they lift property values, they provide, help a community be more vibrant. And I am working on this theory that entrepreneurs can help reduce crime, they contribute to the Little League team, they are, role models in the community, that entrepreneurs are anchors. We always think of the anchors as somebody other than ourselves, right? The big companies or the universities, but entrepreneurs are anchors in a community, and so we're focused on that. One of the things that we're really excited about is we won awards because our programs really combine this element of hands-on training and helping entrepreneurs focus on being profitable. And what's interesting is we won 2 awards for our program called Entrepreneurship Pioneers Initiative, which is a first generation, take entrepreneurs who don't have a history of being in business, connect them to networks and lawyers and accountants, and help them think about strategic planning. About 2.5 years ago, 2 entrepreneurs walked into my office and they said, we're creatives, we're filmmakers, we're videographers, we're music producers, we're award-winning public relations firms and communications companies, and we're here in Newark, and the city is rapidly growing. We've been a part of changing the narrative of the city. We're seeing property appreciation, and we want to be a part of that. And we have a whole community of other entrepreneurs who we believe could benefit from the programs that the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship offers. And so we took that and we spent a couple of months brainstorming together about how we create a curriculum and what the outcomes might be. And the exciting part is those two visionaries are sitting across the table with me, and we created a program that we're very, very proud of, that's helping creative entrepreneurs, filmmakers, artists, visual artists, bloggers, focus on being profitable and on owning assets, owning property.
That's very exciting. You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network. Where else are you going to hear about some of these fascinating things that are occurring in the community, in the creative economy, except here on Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network? I'm your host, Linda Steele. I'm talking to Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley from the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey. So it appears that the 2 people who may have approached you are right here in this room.
Kim and Jeff, I mean, literally. Kim, you should talk about that first meeting and your your vision.
It's an interesting thing. We all know that artists make a place cool, right? We've seen it over and over in cities all across America. A place that is blighted and what have you, is it's affordable for artists to be there. And then as the place becomes cool, artists can't afford to be there anymore. And so that's something that I saw the potential for in Newark, New Jersey. And because I'm a social entrepreneur, I know that there is a business solution to that kind of social problem. And what I realized was that we have, like myself as a creative entrepreneur, there are so many other creative entrepreneurs that didn't necessarily have access to opportunities that could help them become that stakeholder, that anchor in the community. There was a few gaps in the ecosystem in Newark to support creative entrepreneurs. And just based on the research that I'd done and the experience that I had personally, I knew that there was something that could be done that combined not only helping entrepreneurs to grow and learn how to operate a business, but also to connect them to opportunities to be the job creator, you know, not only for themselves, but for other people, and to own the place where they live and they work. Because without that, the city of Newark will be like other cities where the folks that survive through the hard times are not the folks that will benefit from the Renaissance. And so fortunately, you know, I had a relationship with Lyneir prior to him joining the faculty and administration at Rutgers University, Newark. And so I said, you know what, Lyneir, I think I have something here. I think there's an opportunity to do something really unique. And fortunately, the planets were aligned, you know, at the time. And because CUEED already has a very successful program, we were able to tailor that to meet the needs specifically of creative entrepreneurs. But it's really something that's based on personal experience. You know, as an entrepreneur, I knew that, you know, I couldn't do it alone. And if I'm facing challenges, I know that there were other entrepreneurs that didn't have as much access as I had that needed the support of Rutgers Business School.
This is great. Where else can you hear this kind of conversation about entrepreneurship, social activism, Artivism? You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network, and I'm your host, Linda Steele. I would love to get Jeff in on this conversation. Tell us about the Newark Business Hub and the role you played and how you feel about it and how it's helped you in your career. Just tell us more about it.
Sure. The Newark Business Hub, from the inception, was about how we collaborate to help with telling the story and creating content around the narrative of Newark and all of the positive things that are happening in the city. If we band together as creatives and figured out how to get the best of the best prepared to be at that next level, we already are creating an ecosystem of which we could be able to go after larger contracts together. We could just collaborate a lot more. And it's one thing to be successful, but it's success is, to me, really depends on how many people you bring along with you, how many other people that you put in position to be able to be successful as well. So the Newark Business Hub has allowed us to not only assist other people, but all of us have benefited from all of the courses we've taken and a lot of the lessons learned in the network of people that we have. I've been able to hire people that I'm in the hub with, other filmmakers, other videographers, photographers, and it's just created a network that's really put us in position to elevate our businesses. I could definitely say that I've been able to generate additional revenue since that point in time that we've started, and to be able to be the voice of an industry that's right now in flux as it pertains to the growth of the city, and the arts are generating all of this revenue, but it's not trickling back down to a lot of the artists. And we're looking at the solutions. And for us, we've been focusing on equity and ownership as a definite way that people won't be displaced. So people will have a new sense of ownership in the content that they are creating, their roles in the city, and just like Lyneir and Kim said in regards to becoming those anchor institutions, even at that micro level, I think people really have that opportunity through what the business school is offering, what CUEED is offering, to have the leverage resources of Rutgers University at their disposal is huge.
That is so exciting. You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network. I'm your host, Linda Steele, and I've been having a fascinating conversation with the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey. We've been talking about the Newark Business Hub, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a very new program that is now in Memphis, Tennessee.
The off-year electorate, the midterm electorates, are older, less diverse, more conservative. You have two electorates fighting for the future of this country. And what I'd say to your viewers and people listening in is, you know what? You got to stop that older, less diverse electorate from funkying around with your future.
Funking up your airwaves and jamming the good information in your ear. Once again, it's Funky Politics.
Funky Politics.
Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network, and I'm your host, Linda Steele. And I've been having this terrific conversation with Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley from the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey. We've been talking about CUEED at Rutgers, which is the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development, and a specific program called the Newark Business Hub. And in this segment, we're really going to talk about a brand new program that's not in Newark. It's actually in Memphis, Tennessee. So, listeners, as you know, Artivism is another initiative of ArtUp. And we are partnering with the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, and we are going to start here in Memphis, the Memphis Business Hub, specifically for creatives and creative entrepreneurs. So, Lyneir, let's just talk about how this all came to be.
So, what's so fun about this for me, it's been 2 years now of the Newark Business Hub. Mm-hmm. And it's been rewarding to hang out with all these creative people, a whole lot of fun. And I see people, creating content and expressing their vision and writing and painting, mm-hmm. and, singing and dancing, none of which I can do. But what's fun is, my expertise is around how does a business make a profit? Mm-hmm. How can an entrepreneur create something that he can pass, or he or she can pass along? And so as I take these creative individuals and I start to talk about their business ideas and their creative ideas, but then focus them in on, well, how do you make money? And how are you going to grow? And what's the value? And who will sponsor that? And, how do you, will you ever be able to have an exit? That thought of taking that in Rutgers and in Newark and working with a community of entrepreneurs, particularly entrepreneurs of color, has been a lot of fun. Now we have this opportunity to do the same thing here in Memphis with another community of very cool entrepreneurs. The work that Paul is doing, the work that Eli is doing, the community of youth entrepreneurs, to take all those folks who are doing really cool things, noteworthy things, newsworthy things, but then to focus specifically on how do you make a profit unapologetically, is something that I can't wait to get involved with. So you inviting us here, mm-hmm. and sort of opening that discussion and bringing the entrepreneurs to Newark, I think you may want to tell people about that week. It's actually been not quite a year ago. That's how effective ArtUp is. That within 1 year of a conversation, a lot of people come and talk about stuff, but you say don't talk about it, be about it. Within 1 year, less than a year, you brought the fellows in Art Up to Newark and hung out with Jeff and Kim and I at Express Newark in our Rutgers facility. And a year later, we're announcing a new program.
It is very exciting. And where else you're getting a scoop here, listeners. You are learning about the Memphis Business Hub for Creatives. It's the first program of the Newark Business Hub of Rutgers CUEED outside of Newark, New Jersey. And the only place you're going to hear about this is on Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network. I'm your host, Linda Steele, and I'm talking to the Rutgers Center for Economic Development and Urban Entrepreneurship here, based in Newark, New Jersey. So let's go ahead and talk more about about a year ago. Not quite a year ago, we were actually in Newark, New Jersey, and we met Jeff, who actually took a selfie, and you can see it on Facebook with all of the fellows and with Lyneir and Jeff. Tell us more about what you thought of the fellows. I mean, some of our listeners know a little bit about the fellows. They've heard a few of them on our show. But what was your take?
I think I stated, tobacco reminded me that I said that I would be in Memphis, that I was coming to Memphis. I meant that when I said it, just based on the organic energy that was in that room that day that we talked. And just to hear what each of the entrepreneurs did, and it had piqued my interest. I've been to Memphis before with another initiative, but not in this context. And to be able to have, you could feel the seriousness and the passion and the hunger of what we discussed then. And for you guys took that energy and turned it into where we are right now, and we're back, and it's like full circle. In like 10 months, we're talking about the Memphis Business Hub. So for me, honestly, we discussed that this model on the onset would be something that was global. That it wasn't just we're going to start and brand this and it would happen in Newark, but we wanted to be able to do exactly this. So for us to be able to take the show on the road and be able to open our network up and our resources and have an exchange happen between entrepreneurs here in Memphis and be able to come here and do work and be able to have those entrepreneurs come to Newark is beyond amazing and beyond the realm of what we knew or know that we have to do to be able to build a better portal of accessibility.
There's so many cool things that happen. I mean, we can't wait to get our community of Newark entrepreneurs in Memphis. I'm excited about potentially research projects with faculty members at the University of Memphis. And as we continue to grow this work, it's anyone, anywhere that's doing something positive with creatives. We want to be helpful. If there's another university in another part of the country that wants to do research projects and people see this model that can work, particularly urban universities that have this, organic nature of, as you said, of entrepreneurial energy, we want to find out how to harness that.
Well, we're excited about it. Listeners, you've heard it here first. The Memphis Business Hub for Creatives program here in Memphis, Tennessee. It's going to be the second program of Art Up. You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network, and I'm your host, Linda Steele. I'd like to know from Kimberlee, what do you feel about the Memphis Business Hub? And tell us what you're looking forward to, and especially as we begin creating this program.
I think one of the things I'm personally excited about is the opportunity to keep that exchange going. Giving artists from Memphis the opportunity to access resources in Newark, to connect with the people in Newark and the other, networks that we have. We already have a Newark Business Hub fellow that is planning to come to Memphis. So when we made the announcement, we immediately got traction on social media like, oh, I was planning to come to Memphis already. And the power to be able to respond to that person and say, we can connect you to the Memphis Business Hub. You don't have to go there and start at the ground level. We can connect you to the right people and the right conversations. That is the power of the Business Hub model, and the ability to say, you're not alone. You have friends who can help you accelerate your growth. You have a group of people that you can trust. I think that is so powerful because what we're doing is about weaving a community together and in instilling a value of collaboration. And that's what's unique about the Business Hub model. We're not just teaching entrepreneurs how to compete, right? Because competition is so 20th century. We're in the 21st century where it's all about collaboration, and those who collaborate well win. And the Newark Business Hub and the Memphis Business Hub, what we're demonstrating is the power of that. And can you imagine what it's going to be like when we have the 20 entrepreneurs here in Memphis connected to the 20 plus entrepreneurs in Newark, and we're all on the same page? The network, the power of that is palpable. And that's what excites me the most about it.
I see a conference coming up in the future. You heard it here, everyone. You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network. I'm your host, Linda Steele, and I've been having a fascinating conversation with Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley from the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development in Newark, New Jersey. We've announced the new Memphis Business Hub for Creatives program based at the brand new South Main Art Space Lofts in Memphis, Tennessee, in the South Main Arts District. Thank you for listening. You're listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
We're getting funky, y'all.
The Memphis Park with the Jefferson Davis statue was put up in 1964 during the Civil Rights Movement. These were all symbols of an oppression. These statues need to be in a historical context. They need to be in a museum, a Civil War memorial site, maybe even be at the ancestral home. All these things are valid places, but a public place of prominence was not where they needed to be.
It's Funky Politics on the KUDZUKIAN Network.
Hey, so we've been having a fabulous conversation about the intersection of arts, creativity, entrepreneurship, social activism, community revitalization, and so much more with the Rutgers Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development, featuring Lyneir Richardson, Kimberlee Williams, and Jeff Billingsley. You've been listening to Artivism on the KUDZUKIAN Network, and I'm your host, Linda Steele. You will find the Artivism podcast at the intersection of art and social activism. Artivism is executive produced by ArtUp, hosted by Linda Steele, produced, directed, and distributed by KUDZUKIAN.